My name is Elena Carter. I'm 29 years old, and the night my parents erased me from their lives was the night I decided to erase theirs from mine, permanently. It happened on a night that was supposed to be a celebration, my father's 60th birthday. The house was glowing with golden lights, laughter spilling through the halls, expensive wine flowing like it meant nothing. My mother had spent weeks preparing, every detail perfect, every guest carefully chosen. Politicians, business partners, family friends, people who mattered, people who they thought mattered. And then there was me, standing near the back of the room, invisible. Not because I wasn't dressed well, I was. Not because I didn't belong, I did. But because to them, I was already gone. "Ladies and gentlemen," my father's voice boomed, raising a glass as the room fell silent. I remember the way everyone leaned in, smiling, waiting for something warm, something loving. "I want to thank all of you for being here tonight," he said. "You've been part of my success, my journey, my family." Family. The word hit differently when he said it, because I knew what was coming next. "I'm especially proud of my daughter Sophia," he continued, gesturing toward my younger sister, standing at the center of the room in a sparkling silver dress. Applause erupted instantly. Of course it did. Sophia was perfect, beautiful, polished, obedient. Everything I was not. "She's everything a father could ask for," he said, smiling at her like she was the only person in the world. "Smart, successful, and most importantly, loyal to this family." And then he laughed, a soft, casual laugh. "As for my other daughter," he paused, glancing around the room like he was about to tell a joke. My heart stopped. "I suppose every family needs a reminder of what not to become." The room went silent for half a second, and then people laughed. They actually laughed. Like I was entertainment. Like I was nothing. I felt every pair of eyes turn toward me. Some curious, some amused, some pretending not to look at all. And my mother? She didn't stop him. She didn't defend me. She just stood there, smiling. That was the moment I understood something very clearly. I wasn't their daughter anymore. I was their embarrassment, their mistake, their lesson. And in that moment, something inside me didn't break. It went cold. I didn't cry. I didn't run. I didn't say a word. I just picked up my glass, raised it slightly, and smiled. Because for the first time in my life, I saw them clearly. Not as parents, not as family, but as people. Flawed, cruel, arrogant people who believed they were untouchable. And that was their biggest mistake. I left the party quietly. No one stopped me. No one noticed. Why would they? I was already invisible. But the moment I stepped outside into the cold night air, I made a promise to myself. They wanted me to be nothing? Fine. I would become nothing. Until the day I became everything they feared. You see, my parents didn't just humiliate me. They underestimated me. They thought I was weak because I didn't play their game. They thought I had failed because I didn't follow their path. They thought cutting me off, financially, emotionally, socially, would destroy me. And for a while, it almost did. The next 6 months were brutal. No support, no safety net, no family connections to fall back on. I worked 2 jobs, lived in a tiny apartment that barely had heating, ate the same cheap meals every day. While my sister posted pictures of luxury vacations, designer gifts, and smiling family dinners, I was no longer invited to. But here's what they didn't understand. Struggle doesn't break everyone. Sometimes, it builds something dangerous. I started small, freelance work, late nights, learning everything I could, business, finance, strategy. While they were busy celebrating their perfect lives, I was studying how people like them fall. And trust me, Everyone has a weakness. My father's? Control. He needed to be respected, admired, feared. My mother's? Reputation. She cared more about how things looked than how they actually were. And Sophia? She wasn't perfect. She was just better at hiding her flaws. But I saw them. I remembered everything. Every conversation. Every secret. Every careless mistake they thought I'd forgotten. I didn't forget. I archived it, like ammunition. A year later, I wasn't the same person anymore. Not the girl who stood silently at the edge of the room, not the daughter waiting for approval. I had built something of my own, something they didn't even know existed. And that was exactly how I wanted it. Because revenge isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It waits. It grows. It becomes inevitable. The invitation came unexpectedly. A charity gala, hosted by my parents, of course, their favorite kind of event, public, glamorous, full of powerful people watching. And at the bottom of the email, one line, attendance by invitation only. I smiled when I read it, because this time, I didn't need an invitation. I had something much better. Access. The night of the gala felt strangely familiar. Same golden lights, same laughter, same illusion of perfection. But this time, I wasn't standing in the shadows. I walked in through the front entrance, confident, unrecognizable. Not a single person stopped me, because people don't question confidence. They assume you belong. And I did, just not in the way they thought. I saw them almost immediately. My father, shaking hands, smiling like a king. My mother, graceful, elegant, scanning the room for approval. Sophia, laughing, glowing, exactly where she always wanted to be. The center, the spotlight, the perfect daughter. For a moment, I just watched them. Not with anger, not even with sadness, but with something far more dangerous. Clarity. Because tonight, everything was about to change. I stepped closer, slowly, deliberately, and just as my father turned to greet another guest, our eyes met, for the first time in over a year. At first, there was confusion, then recognition, and then something else, something I had never seen in his eyes before. Uncertainty. Good, because this time, I wasn't here to be ignored. I wasn't here to be humiliated. I was here to finish what they started. And this time, they wouldn't be the ones laughing. I didn't look away. Not this time. My father's smile froze mid-conversation, his hand still extended towards someone important, someone he suddenly forgot existed. The confidence in his posture cracked, just slightly, but enough. Good, because I wanted him to feel it, that shift, that discomfort, that moment where control starts slipping and you don't know why. "Elena?" he said, my name sounding unfamiliar on his tongue, like a word he hadn't used in years. I tilted my head slightly, calm, unbothered. "Happy birthday, Dad," I said softly. The man he had been speaking to glanced between us, sensing something off, then awkwardly excused himself. Just like that, power shifted. My father stepped closer, lowering his voice. "What are you doing here?" Not, "How have you been?" Not, "You look well." Just control. Always control. "I was invited," I replied smoothly. It wasn't a lie. Not technically. His eyes narrowed. "By who?" I smiled. "You'll find out." Before he could respond, my mother appeared beside him, her expression tightening the moment she saw me. For a split second, her perfect composure slipped, and underneath it, I saw panic. "Elena," she said quietly, forcing a smile. "This isn't appropriate." Appropriate. I almost laughed. "Neither was your speech last year," I replied. Her lips pressed together. She wasn't used to being challenged, not in public, not where people could see. And tonight, people were watching, always watching. "Maybe we should talk somewhere private," my father muttered, his voice sharper now. There it was, the fear of exposure, the need to control the narrative before it unraveled. But I shook my head. "No," I said calmly. "I think I'll stay." I let my gaze drift around the room, taking in the guests, the cameras, the quiet attention slowly shifting toward us. "This is your kind of setting, isn't it?" My mother stepped closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "You're making a scene." I leaned in slightly. "No," I whispered back. "I'm ending one." And then, right on cue, Sophia arrived. "Dad, they're asking for you on stage." She stopped mid-sentence when she saw me. The color drained from her face. For a moment, she said nothing, just stared, like she was looking at a ghost. "Hi, Sophia," I said, my tone light. "Miss me?" Her eyes flickered, confusion, anger, and something deeper, fear. Because unlike our parents, Sophia knew me. She knew what I was capable of, and more importantly, she knew what I knew about her. "You shouldn't be here," she said quietly, almost pleading. "Interesting." "Funny," I replied. "That's exactly what you said the last time we spoke." Her jaw tightened, because we both remembered that conversation, the last one before everything fell apart, the night she chose them over me. "Enough," my father snapped suddenly, regaining some of his authority. "This isn't the time or place." He turned slightly, signaling toward security across the room, a silent command. "Remove her. Erase the problem, just like always." But before they could take a single step, I spoke, loud enough, clear enough, confident enough. "To be fair," I said, raising my voice just slightly, "I didn't come here to cause trouble." That got attention. Nearby conversations slowed, heads turned. Good. "I actually came to help," I continued. My father froze. My mother went still. Sophia's eyes widened, because now they had no idea what was coming. "Help?" my father repeated, his tone cautious. I nodded. "Yes," I said, reaching calmly into my bag. "And I think everyone here deserves to see this." I pulled out a small, sleek flash drive. Simple, unremarkable. But in that moment, it may as well have been a weapon. Because I saw it instantly, the way my father's face changed, the way my mother's hand instinctively gripped his arm, the way Sophia took a step back. They recognized it. Or at least, they feared what it might contain. Good. They should. "You see," I said, turning slightly so my voice carried just enough. "Over the past year, I've been very busy." I walked slowly toward the stage. No one stopped me. No one dared. Because confidence is power, and right now, I owned the room. "I've been learning," I continued, "observing, paying attention to things I used to ignore." I reached the podium, picked up the microphone, and turned to face them. All of them. "This family," I said, my voice echoing softly through the hall, "has always cared about one thing above everything else." I paused, let the silence stretch. Reputation. A ripple moved through the crowd, small, subtle, but growing. My mother's face went pale. My father started toward the stage. Too late. "So tonight," I said calmly, holding up the flash drive slightly, "I thought it would be appropriate to share the truth." "Stop her," my father snapped, his voice no longer controlled. Panic. Real panic. But the problem with panic is, it's loud, and people notice loud. Security hesitated, guests murmured, phones started coming out, recording, watching, waiting. Because suddenly, this wasn't just a party anymore. This was something else. Something real. Sophia moved closer to the stage, her voice low but urgent. "Elena, don't do this." I looked at her, really looked, for the first time in a long time. "You had a choice," I said quietly. "Remember?" Her eyes filled, but she said nothing, because she did remember, and she knew this wasn't something she could stop. I turned back to the microphone, smiled faintly, and said the one thing I had been waiting an entire year to say. "Let's begin." My hand moved toward the laptop connected to the main screen. The entire room held its breath, and behind me, for the first time in their lives, my parents had no control over what happened next. And that was only the beginning. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, and for a split second, the entire room felt frozen in time. No music, no laughter, no power, just silence and fear. I pressed play. The screen behind me flickered to life. At first, it looked harmless, a blurred office, a quiet room. My father sitting across from a man no one in this room recognized. Then, the audio kicked in. Clear, sharp, undeniable. "We can move the funds through the shell accounts," my father's voice said calmly. "No one will trace it back." A ripple moved through the crowd, small at first, then louder. Confusion, whispers, phones lifting higher, recording everything. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. I knew exactly what was playing, because I had spent months making sure every second of it was real, verified, untouchable. The video cut to another clip. My mother this time, smiling, elegant, perfect. "People believe what you show them," she was saying, "not what's real." Soft laughter followed, her laughter, the same one she used in public, the same one she used while destroying people quietly behind closed doors. Gasps, actual gasps now. The illusion was cracking, and once a crack starts, it spreads. "No," my mother whispered behind me. I could hear it, feel it, that fragile, desperate denial. But truth doesn't disappear just because you whisper against it. The final clip began, and this one was for Sophia. The room grew even quieter, because now everyone was watching, everyone was waiting, and they could feel something worse was coming. Sophia's face appeared on screen, no makeup, no perfect lighting, just raw, real,